So we're here in the lobby entrance, and we actually have some of that legacy gear here. In fact, this is a Lansing, Jim Lansing D130. So this is from 1947. So this is one of the first products to roll off the assembly line in the new JBL company. Yeah, then we're going to move for early 60s. We sort of jump ahead here to the one of the two-way studio monitors that was designed for Capitol Records, and so you can see how JBL was experimenting on the diffraction and all that. So it's a beautiful piece of legacy gear.
It's so great actually to see the waveguide development as you can just take a look down this thing and go, wow, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And then now we go way backwards. This is from 1938. So this is one of the very first studio monitors. This is this early example was produced before the availability of high energy permanent magnets, thus necessitating a DC magnetized power supply located at the top of the enclosure along with the crossover network to energize its transducer field coil magnets. And so we have the iconic 4310. So this was so popular as so the engineers started taking the 4310 home and using with their hi-fis, and JBL recognizing that turned it into a consumer model, which is the L100. And so we've been iterating on the L100. In fact, there's a classic reissue of the speaker that we've been doing on the consumer side. So we just have a few other pieces of legacy gear here. This is a way of just us talking about. So Harman. So after we acquired JBL in 1969, it set out for another couple decades of acquisitions, probably about 13 or 14 acquisitions in the lighting, in the audio, and the video control side. So we added Soundcraft to our portfolio, Studer brand, BSS signal processing, Crown amplification. So that's sort of, we're kind of showing some of those here. But we're also, these are the M2s, which you'll see a little bit later as well, which certainly that patented design influenced the iterations on the 3 Series and of course the 7 Series, and a lot of that technology and that platform went down to the 104.
This specific shape with this sort of X thing really is what what he's talking about. How that the tweeter, the high frequency dispersal pattern. We just did a study on this with the Series 5s, the 5s, the 5s, the 8s, the 708s, and a bunch of competitors, and did off-axis, and these. Both the Mark 1s and the Mark 2s scored incredibly high on 45-degree off-axis flat high-frequency dispersion.
Right.
It's
and for the price.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, so you got the legacy MK1s up here.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. It's pretty special stuff.
It really is.
Just a few portable PAs. We started getting more portable PAs, and we have the 4732. Screen array. Of course, we've iterated on cinema sound since then with the 200 series, and doing some pretty special stuff now with the Samsung Onyx.
Oh, really?
Yes. So obviously, this speaker would pass through a porous material, the screen, right? So now that Samsung is manufacturing solid-state LED cinema screens, they're now I don't know what the number is now. It's probably around 30 worldwide. And that's cinema screen special for a lot of different reasons. You can't project black, but with an LED cinema screen you can actually get true black. So the contrast is pretty amazing with these speakers. But the audio problem.
How do you get through it?
Well, you can't. So when you're sitting and watching your TV, you're just sort of kind of passively listening, and you're imaging that center.
Even though the speakers are around the screen somehow.
Exactly, but now when you're getting as large as a cinema screen, the actors are talking here to your right.
Or the center channel. Either it's up here or it's down there.
Exactly.
And if something did have to go left and right, if you're in the right, you'll never hear that speaker over there.
Exactly.
On the left.
So we have developed what we call reflector horns. So there's 2 boxes on either side of just left and right on the wall right in front of the surround.
Oh, you're coming this way.
So we're shooting it right at the center of the screen and then back, and it's not necessarily to provide volume; it's to provide the frequency that tricks your brain into re-imagining into to the center of the screen.
How many theaters in America have a screen array system? Thousands?
Yeah, I mean, we figure probably over 40% of theaters
40% of theaters worldwide. Crazy. So the theater that I've always done my mix on is Michael Bodeker's studio, not too far from here. He's got 3 of these systems for his LCR. And when you have the monitors that you know you're going to end up having distribution on, your mixes completely translate. And so, not that everybody can fit this in their house, nor will your wives like it, but to get closer and closer and closer to what you know the distribution is going to be, that's everything. So, if you're going to go to the big studio, make sure they have something like this if you can, because it just, translation is everything.
Even if it's where you're stuck.